Got it. Okay, welcome back to another Crypto Talk, everyone. The subject of today is RUNE, and I haven't realized that we actually made a presentation about that before, so it's the second time we're going to be talking about RUNE today. Let me see if I can find my Zoom. I'm a bit lost here now. Okay. And let me start sharing my screen so we can start to talk about RUNE. There we go. Welcome back once again to another Crypto Talk. Today we're going to be talking about RUNE, and as every presentation we ever make, it has to begin with a disclaimer that all content we provide is for informational, educational, and entertainment purpose only. Nobody at Crypto Vagabonds is or intends to become a financial advisor or a tax advisor. So with that being said, if this is your first time at a Crypto Talk, be aware that this Crypto Talk occurs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. CST. And if this is your first time at Crypto Talk, you will receive an email where you're going to have a link to book a call with me. We're going to get a 30-minute consultation. You can also find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and also Monday to Friday on Clubhouse at noon CST. Again, no financial and no tax advice. The only advice I can give to you is make sure you get enough education before you make an investment. And as everyone in the crypto space have their own specialties, some are blockchain programmers experts, some are NFT experts, some are, I don't know, Cardano experts. I'm known as the risk-averse guy. And that's because I have one rule, which is if there's a doubt, there is no doubt. Meaning if I do have a doubt about a project, there is no doubt I'm not moving anything forward. Now, again, the crypto of the month today is RUNE. It's the second time that RUNE makes into being the crypto of the month. So if you want to know more about RUNE, make sure to watch our previous presentation on it. Today, we're going to go a bit further. We're going to, again, answer what it is, what problem does it solve, and why is it important. So what is RUNE? RUNE is a native token of THORChain. So THORChain is a blockchain, and just like BTC is the native, Bitcoin is the native token of the Bitcoin blockchain. ETH is a native coin on the Ethereum blockchain. RUNE is a native cryptocurrency or the native coin of THORChain. Now, if you're not familiar with THORChain solves a few problems, which is multi-currency cross-chain. So what does it mean? It means that if you want to, let's say, exchange your Ethereum for USDT, guess what? You can do that directly from blockchain to blockchain. There are no bridges and there is no like another blockchain or wrapped currency in between. So you can go directly from one chain to another. RUNE is the only, RUNE or THORChain is the only platform that does it. If you go to a decentralized platform and you start to do exchanges, you're going to be dealing with wrapped currency. If you do not know what wrapped currency, I can answer that on a Q&A. But THORChain allows for multi-currency cross-chain. Is the only platform that does it. It's the only blockchain that does it. So that is basically what it is the native currency of a multi-currency decentralized exchange or multi-currency cross-chain. So what problem does it solve? It solves the problem of bridges. If you guys are into the crypto space for a while, looking at the news, every now and then you're going to hear that a bridge got exploited, a bridge got hacked. A bridge is something that all the other decentralized exchanges use, and every now and then it does get hacked. I think we have an example here for you guys to see. Hackers have stolen 1.4 billion this year using crypto bridges. This is what's happening. Another crypto bridge attack, 190 million and 323 million of crypto was stolen from another blockchain bridge called Wormhole. Bridge hacks have resulted in more, and I'm going to move Zoom out of the way, more than 1.2 billion stolen in 2022. So bridges are always being exploited, but what THORChain does is it takes one asset from what's happening here, from one blockchain, let's say the Ethereum blockchain, and goes let's say, to Bitcoin blockchain, or takes from Binance blockchain and goes directly to the Ethereum blockchain. So blockchains don't get hacked, but bridges do. So the main solution that THORChain does is allows for this interoperability between chains, so, or blockchains. So if you have one asset in one blockchain, it doesn't go through a bridge, it goes directly from whatever blockchain you're doing to another blockchain. So if you are selling Ethereum and you want to receive, let's say, BTC, your Ethereum remains on the Ethereum blockchain and the BTC remains on their chain. And THORChain kind of allows for this interoperability. It's the only one that does it. No other centralized exchange is doing that. Only THORChain does this. So this makes quite unique. Now, why it's important? We just allude to this. It's important because bridges are always being exploited, but it's also important because allow for decentralization. When you go to a centralized exchange, you are giving custody of your asset to the exchange. On THORChain, you never give custody of your asset to them. You swap between chains and you swap between coins without giving up the custody of your assets. So that is one reason why it's important. I honestly believe that THORChain is the main possible competitor or replacement of centralized exchanges, because it does solve this really well without a single point of attack, such as bridges. Another thing that it does provide, and I think this is, again, a double-edged sword, because it allows for a lot of privacy. It can easily become a target of regulators, because once you take an asset from one blockchain to another blockchain with enough privacy, regulators may not really enjoy that. But I think keeping privacy is very important. And for those who understand the importance of privacy, I think eventually THORChain is going to start to make more into the headlines, because it's the only one that provides that. Another reason is security. No bridges to be exploited, no blockchain has been hacked. So you have privacy, you have interoperability, and you have a very high degree of security. Those are the reasons why I think THORChain and RUNE are important. Now, with those things in mind, security, privacy, interoperability, no need for a bridge, I do see a huge potential. Again, no financial advice, but I do see a huge potential for this blockchain in the future, because it's the only one doing what it does without any competition. So with that being said, welcome to Vagabonds. I see more people join us during the presentation. Just remember that if you need extra education, we do provide one-on-one coaching. We also have the Crypto Academy going public by the end of October. So if you guys are interested in more education, contact us, or just keep an eye out to keep coming here, because we're going to be launching our academy by the end of October. And if you want more on this, please join us on Clubhouse Monday to Friday at noon CST. Also, thanks to the Crypto Vagabonds team, Mia and Joaquin, the YouTube channel is now having videos more often. You're also going to be able to find us on Instagram, thanks to Luana, and Facebook, thanks to Luana and Mia. So with that, I stop sharing my screen and let's go into the Q&A. Did it make sense to everyone, or just went over people's heads? So if it did, ask questions. No questions? Everyone understood everything? So, okay, goodbye, guys. This is all for today. See you guys next Wednesday. You guys made my life very easy.
Boof, there's something I missed, and I'm not sure if you said it, but and I'm not sure I'm even capable of understanding it at this point, but I'd like to know more about the mechanism by which THORChain does not take custody of your, what the difference is. Do we know that? Is it?
So the mechanism is quite simple. I mean, it is complex, but I can explain in simple terms. So what they do is people can just provide liquidity to them. So basically you have this artificial intelligence that is managing assets in different blockchains. So let's say, for instance, I'm just going to use 2 blockchains as an example. I can program an AI to have the private keys and be able to sign transactions for me on a Bitcoin blockchain and on an Ethereum blockchain. Now, I also can program that AI to realize that when a new deposit is made on my Bitcoin blockchain from a different web page, I send the equivalent amount of Ethereum to the address on that page. So for instance, when you fill up a form on THORChain, which is basically a swap window where you say, I want to have this much ETH in BTC into this address, you press enter. The wallet's going to receive those funds. That transaction has its own ID. Now the software knows that you've made that transaction. Now the software is going to go to the wallet of Ethereum and send that to you on your address. So basically you have one software managing different wallets in different blockchains. And once it receives a payment from you, it goes to that wallet on that specific blockchain and send that to you without you needing to wrap your cryptocurrency. For instance, when you go to, I think this Thursday, we're going to be talking about Beefy Finance. And again, a reminder for those who are in the Academy, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Beefy Finance. So please do your research and bring your knowledge, to information that you got to the table. But when you go to Beefy Finance, for instance, if you want to use BTC, you have to have a wrapped BTC. You have to have deposited BTC on an account of an exchange, let's say, for instance, Binance. And then Binance is going to give you a certificate of BTC, and then you're going to be operating that certificate on the blockchain. So now Binance has one single point of attack where it receives deposit from you, and instead of giving you BTC, gave you a digital certificate. Basically, that certificate only has value as long as this vault doesn't get hacked. Now, what THORChain does is different. It has the software running this wallet and the software running the other wallet. And if you deposit here, it sends back to you something else. Therefore, the software is not holding your assets for very long, and it's not giving you a pegged certificate. It's just directly from one blockchain to another blockchain, almost instantaneously. There was an exchange that was doing this in the past. I don't know how long you guys have been in the crypto space, but when I came in, there was this company called Shapeshift. So you could go to shapeshift.com or .io, I think, and you would deposit there and you will receive funds. But it would take long time. Like I remember, for instance, some of my transactions took 6-8 hours to receive. So basically, I would say what currency I want to exchange. I would put an address and I would request it. And then because it was kind of decentralized, someone would have to send that to me, someone associated with Shapeshift. I'll be without my assets for hours. I remember one transaction in one single case, it took me like almost 24 hours to receive my assets. I never lost assets on Shapeshift, but that delayed always made me worry. Like I don't have my assets, and how can I gonna receive this back? Whereas in THORChain, because the software that handles wallets are doing this instantaneously, you're never giving up the custody of your assets. And I think that's a very important mechanism. And also, you're not dealing with digital certificates. One software is handling multiple wallets. Did it make sense to you, Linda, or a bit too complex?
Yes, thank you. No, that helps. That helps. Thank you.
And that is, again, one thing that most people don't realize, like, you do not have to be a human to transact in the crypto space. When you have wallets being run by softwares are not humans, and yet they do transact. So I saw Didier's face like, yeah. Because it is new to use Didier that you don't have to be a human to transact value. I think you're muted.
Yes, it's new to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that AI was doing that. Hooray.
And here's where everyone sees this happening. Like, for instance, a Tesla automobile can easily, and I think you're going to see this within our lifetime. I think in a few years we're going to be seeing that. You can have a Tesla automobile with this technology, and the Tesla can be a Uber for you while you are at work. So let's say you drove to work, instead of you paying parking space and have to worry about parking spaces, Tesla can be a Uber driver. So it can drive people around, and it can go to the pump station or to the electrical charge station and receive its own charge and pay for the charge with the money that you have given to the automobile. And then it continues driving. Or if you don't give money, it's going to be receiving money from the Uber clients, and then it can go to an electrical station, charge itself by magnetic induction, and then it continues driving and come to pick you up when you finish working. So that is another way in which a machine is not only going to be transacting, but also performing, like providing services on their own behalf and be able to pay for their own recharging. So that's possible today, though. Like, it's already possible today. It's not there yet, but it's already possible. They're just fine-tuning the whole system.
So is mankind enslaving machinery after all?
That's a very good way to look at it. But I also have the perspective of, if you look at agriculture, right? Who domesticated who? Did we domesticated wheat, or did wheat domesticated us? Did we domesticated the grass, or did the grass domesticated us? Because in the end, we are the one who we're keeping the grass, right? It depends on how you look at it.
I think Georgie had his hand up before. I saw
Yeah,
it.
go for it, Georgie.
Yeah, I was wondering, I know that Trezor Suite supports Thorn, and I was wondering how we can put it on the Trezor.
I'm not sure if Trezor supports. So here's what happened with RUNE. There was a period where RUNE would exist in multiple blockchains. Ethereum blockchain is one example. Now, on their roadmap, and by the way, if you watch the first presentation on RUNE, RUNE has a very strong similarity with BTC. No one knows who created RUNE. No one knows who and there's not even a name for it to call. It's just a question mark. But Trezor does not yet support the THORChain as far as I know. And unless you bought RUNE before on another blockchain, you won't be able to buy now in any other blockchain. Like, even in Binance, to try to buy it and send it to an Ethereum address, it doesn't. However, there is a wallet. Maybe I should share my screen and show you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. And maybe I should make a presentation about that in the future. So again, Mia, please write there to make a presentation about XDeFi, please. I'm just going to share my screen and show. So there's a wallet called xdefi.io, which it's becoming, like, you see the icon for Trezor. Can you guys see me, or I lost connection?
No,
Okay,
now I can see you, but yeah, I can see you now.
Okay, so I just want to show you. So this is one wallet. It's a little kind of octopus as an icon. So this wallet, if you try to, for instance, look for a connection with a hardware wallet, it shows in gray. I don't think I want to open. Let me see if I can open my extension here. It is as an extension. I hope I'm not revealing too much information here. So this wallet does allow, it does interact with the THORChain. However, I'm not going to be able to get it here now. But if you try to connect with a hardware device, Okay, wallet management has been a while since I interact with this. There's nothing there. Okay, I'm not going to be able to show this to you, but this wallet, it has the icon for Trezor as a possible hardware wallet. So which means it's on the making. So I would say as soon as this wallet enables you to interact with the Trezor, you're going to be able to have RUNE on your Trezor. Otherwise, you're going to have to use Ledger, which we don't really endorse here. But I would say if you do want to use Ledger, you can, and Ledger does interact with the X5 wallet, and then you can have RUNE. If you didn't buy it before, and I think most people here have not bought before.
Okay, thank you.
Fuzzy.
Hello, hello. So did I hear you say that it's not possible to purchase RUNE on exchanges, or was that just in relation to Ethereum blockchain?
No, you can purchase. Like I said, you can go to Binance and you can buy it. You can't withdraw to the Ethereum blockchain as you could before. So there was a time last year, for instance, if you bought RUNE last year, you could buy on Binance and you could withdraw as a ERC20. Now they don't allow that to happen anymore. So unless you have had RUNE from before, they stopped doing that on a ERC20 format. You won't be able to get that today. So today, if you buy RUNE on exchange, you can only withdraw directly to the THORChain. You can no longer withdraw to another chain. So it's slowly, they want RUNE to stop existing in other blockchains and just exist on the THORChain.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Do you own RUNE, Fuzzy? Have you bought?
When I first got into crypto, when I did a DeFi and crypto course with Stephen Reed in 2020, RUNE was one that was spoken about, and I did have some RUNE very briefly. I bought it on crypto.com app, but that was just so long ago. That was in my FOMO into things days. So I had it for a bit and then I sold it and I didn't have it again.
Wow. Fuzzy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I literally saw your name first pop up with double S, and now I see your name with double Z. So what is the magic trick?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think I don't know if I put my name in incorrectly or not. I just changed it just now.
You
Yes,
play with my eyes, man.
I was fussy Lawrence, not fuzzy Lawrence for a moment there. So, yeah.
Good. Anyone else? Any more questions? Linda,
Roof,
Martin,
what's the development like on this chain? I've been trying to study it to see what kind of projects are being built on THORChain, and if you know of some different projects that are being built on it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they are. You're talking about like smart contract projects, Marcus?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes.
I don't think they are big on smart contracts. They're really big into this liquidity pools and cross-chain transaction. The intent is to be like the substitute of the centralized, a substitute of centralized exchanges. I would not, so if there is any project, I would not put my money on it, because that is not what they're trying to provide. So let's say even if their blockchain enables a smart contract, I would say please don't build on them, because that's not the intention of the blockchain. The blockchain is really to be this massive cross-chain exchange, though.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I still have the white paper to read, so I just wanted to find out if there were anything. Thanks.
Yeah, I just want to like make sure that you understand it. They are not smart contract blockchain. Like even if there is the possibility to build a smart contract and build other things, I would recommend not to get involved because that's not what they're trying to do. So, and if you do not know what is a smart contract blockchain is, please ask me and I can elaborate on that. Maria, I think you're still muted. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you. Hi, nice to see everybody again. So if you want, can you develop a smart contract on Cardano?
Yes, Cardano is specifically designed to like specifically build for enabling smart contracts.
Okay.
Like a lot of blockchains do allow smart contracts to be run on them, but they're not meant. For instance, you can actually run smart contracts on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's just
Oh, okay.
not the best
Okay.
option. I think they're trying to do that on the Lightning Network, but on layer one,
Mhm.
it is possible, but I just don't. It's not what it's built for. So it's like there's a difference between being possible and being built for that, right? So for instance, is it possible for you to go through the mud with an F1 automobile? Maybe if the mud is not very, it can, but it's not nor the automobile, nor the muddy road is built for that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the fact that you can do it doesn't mean it is built for that.
So Cardano is built for that. And so it's probably a better choice at this point than Ethereum. If you had to go ahead with something where you had a little bit more stability and also you had a little bit more privacy, Cardano would be the one to go for rather than Ethereum.
I do like if you ask me, like if you gave me a smart contract product today, I will go for Cardano. And again, I'm not saying what other people should do.
Mhm.
I just read today, this morning, an article on Yahoo Finance where the SEC may be like rethinking their labeling of Ethereum as a commodity and label a security. So
Security, yeah.
the Ethereum move of proof of work, which they just did, this merge, I'm still not convinced was a smart move for them. So I have a lot of question marks, and I think you have seen, and we're talking about this here. I would say, like, for me, if you tell me I have a smart contract, I would say first bet Cardano. There's another ones that I also think are better than Ethereum. I still feel like, and again, it's not financial advice. I'm just sharing what I know so far, and my opinion may change in the future. But today, I would go for Phantom or for Cardano as a smart contract blockchain. I would not go for Ethereum. I think we still haven't seen the end of this merge. I think it's too soon for us to decide anything. And today, I was like, just this morning, I was like, me and my cursed mouth. I saw on the headlines that Gary Gensler is reconsidering labeling Ethereum not a commodity but a security. So
yeah, and it's interesting because I've been watching the videos on all of this and reading about it. It doesn't seem to be there was such a rally, right? I mean, they really were expecting Ethereum to go to $5,000 or whatever else because of the change from proof of work to proof of stake. Well, that didn't happen, and everything's starting to go down again, which is what I want, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so much ado about nothing, right? I mean, so much ado about nothing, which I'm finding is the case. A lot of the cases with new projects now, having gone through what they did with Cardano last year, and everything that went up to the highest point in November, then everything started to drop afterwards, right? It's kind of like a strategy they use to input more money from people who don't understand the protocol. I have another question. You were saying about RUNE, right? Because I did my research when when I was in the academy. And so you said that you cannot, you need to move RUNE into Ledger because Trezor is not accepting it at this point, right? I mean, for whatever development. But could you not do it this way, that you transfer it to Ledger and then transfer from Ledger to Trezor? Can you do that?
Only when Trezor enables, only when XDeFi enables Trezor to interact with it. So it's not there yet. I see the icon, but it's, like when you have those icons on a website which they're gray, which they're not clickable.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think once a week or twice a month, I try to go to XDeFi. I have the wallet just to see if they accept Trezor. As soon as they start to accept Trezor, I want to move some RUNE to Trezor, and I want to get out of the, because I do have some RUNE on ERC20, like on the Ethereum blockchain, and I want to migrate that to the native chain, THORChain, until that icon is clickable on the XDeFi wallets. I don't see any other way for you to have RUNE on a Trezor. So what I'm saying is, if you think you cannot wait to get your hands on RUNE and you're like FOMO in or whatever, and you desperately want to do it now, I'll say, okay, go ahead and put on a ledger. I would be a bit more careful and say, for instance, I'm not buying new RUNE until I can put on my Trezor. So
Yeah, good move.
that's my
Good-
approach. Yeah.
Yeah, another question, just sorry, one other one.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Please, go ahead.
so can you build a DAO with Cardano because of they have the smart, you can build a DAO on Cardano now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to talk to you. You're going to talk about that?
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
No, it's not like I have not forgotten about you. Just that now with the real estate, it's so busy now with people moving in, people moving out, and it's been really busy this summer. But thanks, that's great.
No
You've
problem.
answered a lot of questions. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. We do, some people left. We had 16 people, 4 people are gone. It's yours, Georgie. Marco is still there.
I'm still there.
Oh. Did you have anyone new today, Mia? I didn't see any new faces.
No, I didn't see anybody new.
Okay. We received your message, Didier, and we're going to be contacting you. Just to let you know that we received your message. And Maria?
Boom.
Yes,
Can I
Marcus?
just ask you a question?
Yours. Go for it, please. Go, yours, please.
I sent you 2 emails, but I never know if they have arrived. Did you receive my emails?
Let me
I
see.
saw one today. Yeah, it's an info both.
Is an info? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we did. Yes.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could look again what we did
Okay.
together.
Okay. No problem. That means we need to have a second call. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the second call. But you told me that if things go,
Yes.
let's say you just want to know what we did if
Yes.
it turned out right, because I'm very
Oh,
careful
yes.
there.
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah, let's have the other call. And I think we can have that maybe next Monday. Can you just check quickly, Mia? Just when is the next opening, and we can.
Yeah, just a second.
It should not take long, just to check.
No.
If
I know exactly what it
if
is.
the transfer came to Trezor, yes
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah.
On Monday, you are available in the morning, both.
Okay. Is that okay for you?
Just not 11 o'clock. That's all. 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm checking.
Earlier or later?
Earlier is best for me.
Okay.
Let me see.
are
What date is it?
Are you in the same time zone?
We are the same time zone. He's in Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What about 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So 10 o'clock Monday.
All right. Do
Thank
you
you.
send me a link then?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Manos is here. Georgie. I see some things on the chat.
No, Boof, I don't have any specific questions. I think we've covered RUNE before this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a nice revision just to revisit the entire project again.
Yeah. Talking about that, Manas, do you have your cold storage already or not?
No, not yet, Boof. I definitely reach out to you once I have it so that I can. It's just that the issue is that currently the exchange which I have my tokens on have stopped all transfers. So even if I have it, I'll have to do a new investment on Binance and then transfer it there. So, yeah.
Okay. Go, Didier.
I'm just going to go ask a quick question about Nuri, if that's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I received a mail on the 13th of September. I guess you would have received it as well.
Yes.
The title of it says you found the safe, and they actually also end the whole text with it. Your take on it, if you don't mind?
Mm-hmm. So Nuri has declared insolvency. Okay. Now I want to make sure that I explain for the people who may be listening this later on. There's a big difference between not being liquid and not being solvent. So I want to make sure we understand what we're talking about first before I give my take on it. So when you have lack of liquidity, when you're illiquid, so let's say, for instance, I want to use just one simple case. Let's say I own a real estate. Let's say you own a real estate of $1 million, right? And you give me the ownership of that real estate, and I provide you $500,000, right? Now, if anyone comes to me in need of, let's say, another 300,000, I don't have it. I have assets, but I don't have the liquidity. So I have a debt of 500 million, which was provided to you as a loan, but I do have $1 million real estate. So I'm illiquid, but I'm not insolvent, meaning I do have assets that I can sell, and then I may, so liquidity is temporarily, lack of liquidity is temporarily, insolvency is permanent. Now, insolvent means I have a real estate worth 1 million and my debt is 2 million. So even if I sell all my assets, I still don't have enough to cover my debt. So that's what Nuri declared. It's basically bankruptcy. It's like, we are insolvent. We don't have enough assets to cover our debt. So I don't think my funds are safe with anyone. I mean, even Binance, I only trust 30 minutes. Anyone who is solvent, I already do not trust my assets to be handled or to be kept by them. Now, a company that has openly declared insolvency, to me, is not a company that I want to have my assets. However, I still use Nuri. So let's say, for instance, I have BTC and I need to get that with my partner on some fiat account. I still send money to her, and I'm on her like, transfer that out of there immediately. So I do small amounts and I try to do it quickly. So let's say, for instance, if I use Nuri to send 500 euros and I lose the 500 euros, is a loss that I want to be happy, but won't break me. So I would say my take is your funds are not safe in any in the hands of anyone except your own, and especially not on a company that has openly declared insolvency. So I would say use it if you really have to and have another option, and do in small chunks. Do not keep your assets with them because they already declared insolvency, which I find very beautiful and honest, to be honest, for them to come out open and declare that.
Yeah, I have no funds anymore. I'm just wondering why they would still send these kinds of mails. But yeah, it does answer it does answer the question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Fuzzy.
Yeah. So on the topic of Nuri, so at this point in time, since the collapse of Celsius and all the other stuff that's been going on, have you actually been able to use the card to off-ramp and buy goods and stuff, even after they're declaring insolvency? Have you been able to actually do it?
I cannot testify to the card because it's not my favorite crypto card. My partner has it. I have this aversion to bank accounts, but we have used as like to off-ramp. So for instance, I have sent her BTC, and then she has converted those BTC into euros and then sent to her account. So on an off-ramp, we have used it. I need to ask her if she has been able to use the card itself. I cannot see why the card wouldn't be allowed when I'm allowed to use if everything else works. But I would have to ask her if she has used the card, and I can post that response here. I don't see why not, but let's verify first. Does anyone else has Nuri card here?
I have the card as well. Just didn't get to use it.
Have you used it, Didier?
No, I did not use it.
Fuzzy, do you have it?
Yeah, I had the card, I think maybe before you did. But yeah, I had the card, but because it's European and I'm in the UK, there was the exchange rate for pounds to euros. So I never used it as my primary card, but I do have it. And I had a little bit of BTC on it for a little while, but I withdrew that long before the Three Arrows Capital collapse thing happened.
Yeah, I will actually do this. I'll try. Can you put a note there, Mia, for us to? I'm gonna try to purchase something with the card and then answer you guys here. I cannot see a reason why not, but again, please, not your keys, not your coins. Do not leave your funds on the card. Like when I present on ramp, off ramp, that's exactly what should be like. And I love the terminology on ramp and off ramp because no one parks or stops on an on ramp, right? They get it. So that's the way I see it. It's like don't leave your funds as like sitting on a ramp. Like please get out as quick as you can. You know? Let's see who else is there. We have still 15 minutes. Natalia, how are you? Natalia went to the course. I wonder if she has a question for us. How was the course, Natalia?
It's good.
Do you have any questions for us?
Not yet. I put in down my questions, don't worry.
Okay.
It will come like a flood. But I'm getting some answers, as I said before. So I'm moving on okay for now.
Did Fiona brought you rain, Natalia?
Brought me what?
Rain.
Oh yes. No, we had some rain, but not like the other islands, because there was like a little shift from Fiona, and that helped us a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who do not know, now is like the peak of the hurricane season. September, October is the peak of hurricane season in the Caribbean. Natalia is in the Caribbean, and we do have a regular coming here, a member of the academy, Evelyn. She is in Puerto Rico, and they have no electricity, and they have no clue when electricity is going to be back, thanks to this hurricane Fiona. So if you have family in the Caribbean, please contact them. Yeah, but glad to hear that you just got some rain in San Martin. When was the last hurricane, like the massive one there, Natalia?
That was 17, I think it was 2017.
Which one was it?
That was Maria.
Well, Maria. Yeah, Maria was bad for you guys. Was also bad in Puerto Rico. Like I think it was the biggest one.
Yeah, it was Maria. Yeah. In 1995, we had Louis, and 5 years
that
after.
That one I survived. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I was there for it.
And then 5 years later, we had not Maria, Irma.
It had Irma. It had Berta as well, huh? Right after Louise, had Berta.
Yes.
I think the French side suffer a lot with Berta as well. It's like one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that here in Europe, but in the Caribbean and the south of the US, and I would say that the east coast of the US, most on the south part has exposure to hurricanes. So I think Isadora was the big one on that hit the US last. Yeah. Why do people live in places that are like has those natural disasters? Are still like.
It never used to happen so often, though, you know. Used to be, when I was growing up, I remember my parents talking about a hurricane. I never witnessed a hurricane since not until 1970. And then, yeah, afterwards, from then, it was like a regular thing, like you was expecting Santa Claus for Christmas.
Wow. Another thing that's becoming regular there is earthquakes, huh? Like start increasing over there as well.
Yeah, that's increasing too.
A bit of the subject, just flash your mic if you had experienced an earthquake.
Who, me?
Anyone who experienced an earthquake,
Oh.
please just flash their mic. Just
Yes.
okay. Yeah. To me, it's the most bizarre thing ever. It's like it's really like it takes a while for you to understand what's going on.
6.9 on Big Island 3 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, I was listening to a program and they were saying that the weather now is being manipulated by countries, which is pretty bizarre, but I could see that happening because certain things keep happening. And they say that China is able to program rain to fall on China before it falls on India. Think about that, right? They're able to program the weather. And I believe that because what I see going on, I kind of shake my head. It's being programmed. There's no doubt about it in my head. No doubt about it in my head. Everything's being programmed now. There's nothing natural anymore, you know? So it's pretty scary stuff that's going on right now.
Maria, the king of Thailand who passed away, King Bhumibol Rama IX, had actually a pattern. He's not here anymore. I mean, he passed. He had a pattern for rainmaking. And when the rain clouds were coming but not dropping, airplanes would be sent with a certain chemical that are really
salt. Salt, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we saw. That's what we're seeing. Yeah, we're seeing it in the sky. It's been a number of years now where you see the airplanes, you know, with this white smoke behind them because they were doing something to the atmosphere, you know. But yeah, I believe it.
But with the rain, just to, I know it's off topic, but just so people understand the rain. So the rain, what happened is the temperature of the water on the clouds are below zero. However, they are still in steam form. And when you throw salt on them, it creates a chain reaction where they solidify. And because they solidify, now they start to fall. So all rain, it starts as ice. And then, of course, they thaw as they fall, and then they become liquid before they hit the ground most of the time. So when they don't do that successfully, then you have those solid, how you call hail. But all rain begins as ice. So,
oh, interesting. Thank you. I wouldn't have thought about that. And you know, there's another thing, like Nikola Tesla, I think, knew about all of this beforehand. He had hundreds of papers and hundreds of studies that he had done, that when he passed away, the FBI came in and took all his papers away. And I think a lot of what we're experiencing right now is basically what Nikola Tesla was experimenting with, you know? So yeah, there's so much stuff we don't know about, you know. We're kind of victims at a point, right? We try and make the best of it, but we're basically victims of what the big guys want to do with us, really.
Okay. All right, we are getting close to the hour. I think we can just wrap this with talking about weather, rain, and earthquake. But if there's no more crypto questions, I would say we can call
Boof,
this.
I just had a quick one, Boof. Before
Go for it, Manus.
So, Boof, like I mentioned, Trezor in India has become increasingly difficult, but there is this Ledger Nano S Plus, which is a new model, and apparently that's being spoken a lot in India because first of all, it's a new wallet. It supports more than about 5,000 currencies, supposed to be very secure at about $120 and accessible and easily. The customs doesn't really stop it from reaching Indian customers. So do you think in the absence of just this unending wait for Trezor to be available, this might be a good fix?
If you don't have the possibility for Trezor, please get whatever hard wallet you can get your hands on, even if it's Ledger. So. Sure. So please, if Ledger is available or any model of hardware device is better than no hardware device. So please just get your hands on a Ledger and then let me know and then we can set it up.
Thanks.
Fuzzy?
Yeah, I've got a parting macroeconomics question for you.
Go for it.
What's your thoughts about the meeting that's about to happen for the FOMC?
Oh, the meeting. I would say between 75 to a full 100 basis points. That's what I see happening. I think I have spoken about this in the academy as well, but yes, the minimum I would say is again another hike of 75 basis point or a whole 1%, and if that happens, it's going to be on the headlines of every newspaper tomorrow because it hasn't been done before. So
anticipate a big dump in all markets as a result, probably.
As I keep saying though, and again, I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money, but my view is we're not at the bottom yet. I think interest rates are going to continue to go up, and I won't. And here's a little extra that I'm going to give to that. Last Thursday, I did make a presentation on Academy about if the yen becomes stronger, we're going to see the market going even further down. And the yen, if you look at the performance of the yen, it is getting slightly stronger because the BOJ kind of start to announce that they're going to intervene and defend the yen. If that happens and the Federal Reserve continue to increase rates, we're going to see a big dip on the market. There's a lot of deflationary pressure on the market. So I would say there will be an increase in rates, maybe 75, possibly. I would say 60% chance of a 1% increase, 40% chance of 75 basis points. And I would say we have a non-negligible chance of the BOJ defending the yen, I would say between now and February next year. And if that does happen, we're going to see a bigger crash on the market. Another thing that I think is going to happen, not just based on the meeting tomorrow of the Federal Reserve, I would say we also have to keep an eye for the winter, and I mean the actual winter. We received a message, I think it was this morning, that our gas prices are going to triple. The electrical prices are also going to. Right, just some question. How much was the increase on the gas price?
Oh, it's on your signal. I sent you the message. It's not.
It's not triple yet. No, okay. So I'm exaggerating here. Let me see the message. Our prediction is triple. So I know the gas prices have tripled. Maybe they are not passing that to their consumer yet. So I do have the message here. Dun, 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 dun. No, I don't find a message, but we received a message today that it is going to increase, and that's going to continue. So what I want to say with this is, as the winter comes and the price of heating your home goes up, as winter comes and we start to see a shortage of food, people are going to want more cash, and they're going to be more concerned about their basic necessities, which is heating their home and also eating. So all of that's going to cause assets to lose their value and basic necessities to increase their value. So besides the Federal Reserve increase interest rates, we're going to see a high demand for cash as winter hits Europe. In the end, people are going to choose food and heating themselves over holding whatever asset they may have in their possession, though. Fuzzy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I'll hold off from putting too much in.
Yeah. How are things in the UK in terms of, like, have you noticed shelves going empty?
Yeah, well, I've noticed for many months this year, there are certain. I don't buy the products. Everything I buy food-wise is always the reductions. So I just buy whatever's reduced on the day. But I do notice, like, emptier shelves, not completely bare, but like there's less of something or a product's not there, and then they shuffle things around to sort of space things out. So they're kind of hiding it. But like, I asked in one of my local stores, and they were just like, yeah, we had to change it because we've got new laws about, like, you can't have this so and so meters away from the door. There's like some sort of sugar tax thing happening. So it's like, you know, I was trying to find out like what's happening with the supply chains, but didn't really tell me anything. So yeah, I mean, I've noticed it for like at least a good solid year. But you know, like, how much of that was catching up from COVID and then what's happening now, hard to say.
Yeah, I had today in Clubhouse Renata talking about seeing empty shelves in the US, and she asked the staff and say, we just don't have enough staff to fill the shelves. That was the excuse, but I'm telling you guys, make no mistake, it's all macroeconomic though. So, and again, the cost of gas has been more than triple. It may not have come like yet to the final consumer, but it will come. And I think Mia and I had a conversation on this, where there was a big mystery, because the price of gas that, okay, what Russia is charging for gas is way more than what the triple that we have seen here in Europe. And if you look at the news, and I think you guys have received our newsletter at least a month or two ago, we talk about a gas company, a big company in Germany being subsidized, and it, like, the government just had to give like close to 10 billion to the company. And the reason why is because the price which the company is acquiring the gas is much higher than the triple that is being announced here. But because it's being
it is huge. It's like, I'm trying to remember now the amount, but it is like 20 times higher. It's not double or triple.
Yeah, so there's about 20 folds to the triple that we see here. And the reason why in Europe, at least, we're only seeing triple is because the government is subsidizing whatever goes over the triple prices. And I think now, because Raja said the message is not even triple yet, but I know what is in the graphs is already triple. It will be a matter of time before that triple price does come to the consumer. I think in UK, they made a ceiling, which price of gas cannot go higher than a certain amount. And of course, I think there's some rationing as well. You know, for that to happen, Fuzzy. Are they rationing, like controlling like how much gas you can consume, or
in terms of vehicles?
No, in terms of heating for winter, they're already starting.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't own a property, but I am not aware of that happening yet. I mean, I'm living at my partner's house, and yeah, there was a point where the bills went up, and it was like they called it like a cap, or like, well, it wasn't really capping it that much, but and then there's been news about expected to go up by like another 80% this winter, but there hasn't been anything about rationing or anything like that.
Yeah, I know that they have the UK government announced that there'll be a ceiling to what the citizens are going to have to pay in terms of electricity. Everything else is going to be paid by the government. They did something similar, I think, in Germany, but because they're subsidizing, they're also imposing restrictions on how much you can use, how high can you put your heater, and so on. And I'm not sure if you guys, anyone here is in Germany. If you go in Germany, the heater has a monitor attached to it. There's like I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a heater, and then there's like a little device there that monitors how high you put it. So German can easily enforce the rationing or the control on how much you heat your house. But yeah, thank you for the question. I think we went on a tour, but prices of assets are going to collapse more in this actual winter, which is coming ahead of us. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your questions. I would call this a day. Mia, I think we can.
Yeah,
I think you are the host. So
yes, see you next week.
Thanks, both.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.